So before I get into everything, I will put a thing on this. These numbers are very difficult to find, and I'm not even sure if these are the right ones, but it's the only one I found that actually had all of the quarterbacks. So just a quick disclaimer there on this. But in terms of if he's the only one that struggles with this, not many quarterbacks actually do have success. There's Brady with who is 70 and 40 in such games. Garoppolo 4 and 2, Roethlisberger 51 and 39, Wilson's 26 and 21, Mariota's 12 and 11, Prescott is 11 and 11, Goff is 10 and 10. That's it for 500 and above quarterbacks. And I will have you guys know this was before this season, so earliest I could find for this, but it's before this season. But those are the only starting caliber quarterbacks that, once again, before this season in the whole league that have a 500 record or better against winning teams. I've personally, like, even before we got Kirk Cousins, I was never in the whole mindset of, oh, quarterback and wins, that goes into their little stat category. I don't think that's true. It's a team game. I've never thought that. But if we do want to go down this road with whoever has a losing record against these kind of guys, even though I know that's not the entire case with Kirk Cousins, but there are some people who like to use that as, oh, if you have a losing record against winning teams, you're pretty much trash. And I don't think that's a good way to really judge this, because even then you have Drew Brees, who is 49 and 65 in such games, and Aaron Rodgers is 32, 39 and 1. So those two have losing records, but I don't think there's anyone out there that would be like, well, you can't win with those two. But there are some, I know not all, I'm not accusing all, but I do know there are some who use that as the lone stat, whether or not a certain team can win or lose a game, pending on the quarterback. Minnesota right now currently has one of those quarterbacks. But even just going back to Kirk Cousins, I think a majority of people would say, well, yeah, you probably take him third, like among the quarterbacks in the division. At best, he's your third quarterback taken, probably. Because I bet there's probably even some who take Trubisky over Kirk Cousins. And with Matthew Stafford, a lot of times it's, well, you definitely take Stafford over Kirk. And it's because of this stat. Stafford's is 7 and 56. His is actually worse. So I still understand both him and Kirk Cousins are on the lower end of this stat kind of thing, but I don't think we can base full games on it. There's always something with it. Like, we will likely see them drop games either, well, we've definitely seen it in the past, and we will likely see it down the line further this season, but I don't think it's because, oh, he struggles against winning teams. I don't think that's necessarily the whole thing with him. Like, it's mostly his limitations as a player, or just kind of the theory of guys will sometimes have bad games, I guess, if you want to go that route. But I do think it's mostly due to their limitations as a player, not so much because it's a winning team. I do think he, as just a person, does kind of get into his own head a little bit too much. But it doesn't, I don't think we will ever have it as simple as, oh, see, we will lose because Team X is like 6 and 2, and then that's it. That's it. They're 6 and 2. Therefore, we cannot win the game. It's impossible to win because we have Kirk Cousins and they're 6 and 2. I don't think that's necessarily true. Once again, I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is an all-pro quarterback. I don't want anyone coming at me with the whole, oh, look, you just think he's all great. No, I don't. He's fine when you have it right. I understand that. He needs to have things a certain way in order to have success, but a lot of quarterbacks are that way. There's very few quarterbacks that are not like that. And for the most part, I'm just tired of a really dumb stat always coming out, because you can use this for almost every quarterback in the league. So it's like, well, they could lose because they have this record against this. Like, it's almost like one of those other stats where like they will probably come out later this year. It's like when they run the ball 38 times, they're 4-0. It's like, you mean when we get a lead and we try to run the clock out, we're 4-0, something like that. Like it's like, yeah, it's not a real stat to me. It's just kind of there, and I do understand people like to find things just to spark conversations like this, or to, I guess some would say, to complain about necessarily. And I do think that's kind of true because even going back in 2015, the team was 11-5. They won the division, but the problem was they would look at the quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater and be like, "Oh, he only threw 14 touchdown passes, though." And now we almost have the exact opposite, where we're questioning if we can win games, but we'll have 4 touchdown passes apparently every once in a while. So, but only like 8 wins. So it just, unless you really have a Hall of Fame talent